OTAs week 2 in the books, ready for minicamp, unraveling what really matters. Now on All Eyes on Cleveland. Welcome into the OBR streaming network. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell as you come in or out. It takes less than a second. It is free. Atone for your sins. My name is Brad Ward. This is All Eyes on Cleveland. The man next to me is Casey Kinnamon, the one and only, the epic one. Big Case Dog. What's going on? What's going on, Case Dog?
So I got home from work today and there was a special care package sitting on my doorstep. It was addressed to my daughter and it was from Jacob Roach. My youngest collects Pokemon cards and Jacob is an aficionado. He put together a care package and it had a poster of her favorite Pokemon, Eevee, and all the different evolutions. But at the bottom of that was a comic book for me. This is Avengers versus X-Men. So it's written by a multitude of writers, but they're my favorite writers. Just happens to be John Michael Bendis, Jason Aaron, Ed Brubaker, Jonathan Hickman. So I got a nice weekend ahead of me.
That's fantastic. I'm happy for both of you. Pokemon, good job. Great, good stuff. Good job, Jacob. What a hell of a guy.
Hell of a guy.
Hell of a guy that Jacob Roach is. Huh? How about that? So he just was this unprompted?
I knew it was coming. He told me he was putting together a care package and he alluded to a comic, but didn't tell me anything what it was. So I knew to be looking for it.
Yeah, the unprompted, but no reason though, right?
So no reason. It's not her birthday. He knows she's into Pokemon and a specific character. So Jacob collects. He's a collector. So I don't know if Parsons Inc. I will let you know though, Drew. I just saw the authors. I haven't even looked. I'm not going to open it till I read it.
Yeah, I'm getting way out of my depth there. But either way, a kind gesture. By the one Jacob Roach. All right, well, it's good to have everybody here. Day 2 of the madness and the chaos. It continued this week as Canada Pause getting high tech. You're damn right. The day 2 of the media being open to OTA was OTA day 5. And then they're done, I think, today, right? So the next coverage will be, next week, and it's minicamp. Strange schedule we've talked about with.
We thought it might even be a misprint, but that's how they're rolling.
That's how they're rolling. Really strange, right? A mandatory minicamp and then a couple.
But I'm interested to see if your theory holds true. And if the minicamp, the minicamp, they have to be there. So is that going to keep more people around for the final portion of OTAs?
Yeah, maybe they stick around a couple days, and because you scheduled it that way, you get a couple extra guys in for OTAs. Who knows? Maybe Deontay Johnson, because he's there, they can tie him up in the weight room and keep him there for the next couple days.
And it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll have to wait and see if it pays off.
Yeah, well, I love that strategy. It'll pay off. So that's one of the bits of news. Deontay still nowhere to be found. I don't get it. Case one of the talking points that's been all week has been this Browns being ranked 32nd as the most talented teams at PFF. Boy, they turned pretty quick on us, huh? But their X factor for the Browns is Deontay Johnson.
For real, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We don't probably have the time to do it, but I wouldn't mind sitting here and going through other teams and counting up roster cornerstones. Because to me,
Dude.
this is just we're being taxed for Deshaun Watson still, even though he has nothing to do with this season.
Yep.
It's just that dark cloud that hangs over top, and the fact that public beatings have not gone out of style, and we're the kid to kick right now. Like, come on, man, be realistic. This roster is not bereft of talent.
So James, I'm going to get to that. I went through it kind of with Pete a little bit the other night. I said I probably would have them around 20, maybe even closer to 15 if you could just take the quarterback out of the equation, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's crazy talk. James bringing up something that I mentioned to you off the air. Now, I will say this. This was not 7-on-7s. This was team period. So this was when they went to 11-on-11s. And for a period of the practice, and Mary Kay, of course, made a big deal about this, but Pickett and Flacco, and then Gabriel got reps with the ones in team 11-on-11, while Shedeur was on field 2 by himself with the 2s and 3s and everybody else doing 11-on-11. I think you said it best before. This is a snapshot, right? What did you tell me? I don't want to take your word.
It's no different than what it was last week. This was one practice. You don't know that we did practice before that it wasn't Gabriel over there by himself. You got 4 quarterbacks. It's hard to work everyone in. They're rotating, and at this point, I'm not even so sure that the Browns aren't trolling the media. You know what I mean?
They might be. They might be.
I read nothing into it. Nothing is going to be finalized here. You know what I mean? The competition rolls on. Talk to me in August, and if something weird shit like this is still going on, I'll raise my concerns. But you know what I mean? They're just splitting up reps. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, he took some. Gabriel took some over there, and then he went over on the same field as Shedeur and him. I think they're just trying to maximize reps.
Sure.
Not every rep is equal, which you have to realize because, I guess Denzel Ward had a hell of a day breaking up passes left and right. So obviously when you're throwing into coverage with Denzel Ward out there is a little bit different than, Nick Needham or whoever the hell else is out on the other field, right? So
Chris Edmonds and
yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but once again, they're 5 days in. We've only seen 2 days. We don't know what happened on the days that they weren't there. They don't know what happened. We don't know what happened today. They don't know how they did it. And even at the golf outing earlier this week, Stefanski said that. He's like, he wasn't in 11-on-11s. Well, he's been in them since then, talking about Shedeur. So the days that they weren't out there, he was in there. And how they've split them up, we have no idea.
No.
They are just trying to teach the offense to these guys, evaluate them, yes. But I hate to keep – all right, I just want to say her name. Some members of the press keep going back to these questions every time they get a shot at Stefanski. Like, do you want to – and same thing with Tommy Rees. Do you want to know who the the quarterback is going to be by the time you break for training camp? They're not going to know by then.
No. And even if they had an inclination, you think they're telling you now? What good does that do anybody? This is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous-ass question to ask on June 5th or 3rd or July 20th when they first come back to camp.
Black Dog 5 says he's in agreement with the bottom 5 evaluation. So you just basically you don't actually put any thought into who's on the team and reasons why they may have been bad, because we've seen like the Eagles one year were like the most talented team in the league, and they had all those free agents, and they finished with like a 5-win record. This was like 6-7 years ago, but either way, so Black Dog 5, you're saying you don't put any like critical thinking into the people that are actually on the roster. You just go by record and that's it, because I think it's a little more. I think you got to dig a little deeper than that to check the actual talent. The ironic thing, Casey, is that they had them ranked like 1 or 2 a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
most of the roster is still the
guys.
same. It's the same freaking roster.
It's for my head when it's like, it's the same guys from 23, except you've gotten better in most position groups. Now, a wide receiver, I'll hear you. If you want to say receivers, I'll be like, okay,
and quarterback.
I'll have these conversations. But and look, man, and there's been some regression, and there's players that are ascending that have not yet earned the reputation of being stellar. You know what I mean? Like if for instance, if McGuire has the same season he had last year, this year, he'll be on a different level viewed nationally. But because he only did in a limited sample last year, he's not getting the recognition for being a plus level starter yet. So I get it, man. But it's like I said, the public beatings just haven't gone out of style.
Yeah, I mean, I get it too. Coaching is an excuse? No, I don't think so. So, like, for example, I would just say this. Each NFL season, and it's hard to look at it this way, but each NFL season is its own entity.
Yes,
like
100%.
It doesn't carry over like one year to the next like a lot of people think it does. It's like you can have the same roster, but you're going to run into different injuries, different trials and tribulations. Different guys are going to have to step up. You might be the league is different, your division is different. Everything each year it's different. It's its own entity. It stands alone as a path. That's what makes the NFL so great. That's why there's 4 teams that don't make the playoffs and make it every year. 4 teams that's why the parity exists. So I think you have to look at these rosters more critically than that. Like what happened to the Browns last year is very much Deshaun Watson and then everything else after it, in my opinion.
Well, can I tell you something that did carry over for 2 seasons? Injuries. In 23, you had the most players on the IR. Last year, you had the second most players on the IR. Like at some point, that's just going to regress. You know what I mean? Just out of odds. I don't want to guarantee it because we would have done that same thing this last off season, given what they were doing in 23. They just couldn't overcome it, man. It became too much, and they could no longer overcome it.
And Go Bucks saying, well, they had the second pick for a reason. Yes, because their record was terrible. They also didn't try to win many games down the stretch.
And they went all in on a player, man, and it backfired. They put all their resources, changed everything up schematically, coaching staff-wise. They officially put all their eggs in that basket, and it blew up in their face. But that doesn't discount all the roster cornerstones you have on defense, the ascending young players. Those that still exists.
Absolutely. Record can go to evaluation of the team, but sometimes it's misleading. I would say that it certainly can. I think it's in this situation, it's more of an indictment on lack of having a quarterback.
Yes,
and anything. They don't have a quarterback. We don't know who the quarterback is of the future, and the guys that we ran out there last year didn't give you winning level football. It doesn't matter how good your roster is. You're not going to, what happened in 23 was a miracle work from Stefanski, right? Like with the quarterback position.
And he was rewarded for it,
Yeah. Injuries are the great equalizer, fumble. So yeah, and of course your record goes towards the evaluation, and that's why they're ranked 32nd. But I think you have to dig a little bit deeper and realize this is the same freaking roster they had ranked 1 3 years ago.
Yeah,
PFF'd it. So,
and look, I get the record going in the evaluation, but then change it to vibes. If you're talking about talent, and that's what they're saying, least talented. That's just that's factually not true. I would be more than happy to go team by team and document roster cornerstones. And you're going to tell me the Browns have the least roster cornerstones in the league? Like that's
crazy.
I would
also say
it's just not true.
It's not true. And the thing I would say about PFF is too, for whatever reason, their grading of cornerbacks is all over the place, and it's not good. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't trusted it for the last 6 years.
Right, of the secondary, right?
They can't evaluate secondary, yeah.
Yeah, they can't. I don't know what happened to their algorithm or whatever there, but the secondary.
It's simple if you're looking at it like, okay, defensive end. If you're you're evaluating that position, whether they won the rep or not, even if they didn't affect the play, but did they win their one-on-one matchup? Were they technically sound? That's easier to do than it is with cornerback because you don't know coverages. Sometimes people roll away, and then they don't. It feels like it's not properly weighted for what it should be. Is what I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at so they have the grades and the players up here. Denzel Ward was a 68.4 last year.
Yeah, he's just terrible, isn't he?
Oh,
what are we doing?
Kidding me? How dare you put him in the 60s? What are you talking about?
Man? Did he lead the league in passes defended again? Is that what happened? Trash.
Unbelievable. So, anyways,
you take it serious, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I could name because we did it the other night. I mean, the first New Orleans, their roster's better. They're better than the Panthers. They're better than the Jets roster. Take the quarterback out of it. I understand the quarterback. Like, if you just take and I understand the quarterback is a great equalizer as well.
But even then, when we're talking about Derek Carr, Justin Fields, and Bryce Young, we're not, you know what I mean? Like,
right? Yeah.
Come on now.
The Giants. I mean, New England. 2 to 53, they're better than all those teams, I think.
Yeah, but I'm also not making a pitch that they should be considered in the top half.
Dolphins? You're going to tell me the Dolphins have a better 2 to 53 than us? I don't think so. I don't know.
I'll sit here if people want to start naming off defensive studs for the Dolphins.
Yeah, but please, I'll wait. Ramsey, who's getting traded?
No, but okay, so your offensive line is getting old. That is true, right? So maybe those guys aren't getting, maybe Teller and
but they're also the scheme didn't match personnel on the offensive line last year, which is why they've reverted back to this. So let's just see what it is. Maybe it's dog shit again. I don't know, but let's see.
I'll eat crow if it is. I'll eat humble pie. I won't eat Spam, but I'll eat humble pie.
Yeah. Yeah, Pat Shea, you're right. And the defense, honestly, the defense could be excellent again. I mean, they were top 5 defense in 23, and nothing has changed significantly on that defense.
Except for the JOK thing. I think we need to acknowledge that. That is because he is I don't know how you want to rank it, top 5, top 8 linebacker in the league for sure, talent-wise. I mean, so that's a massive blow from a talent perspective. But I expect a massive bounce back from the defense. Just even if the quarterback situation stays in turmoil, but if you have a running game and you can burn more time on the clock with just staying in front of the sticks, I think that's enough by itself for the defense to have a massive bounce back.
So Gillen, I get being worried about safety because they clearly want Ronnie Hockman. Yeah. I almost called him Jimmy Chitwood. Ronnie Hickman to step into that role, which is a little scary. But I'm not concerned at linebacker because I feel like
even before you added Schlesinger, you had now. I'll say there is a wild card with Bush. I was actually happy they re-signed him when they did. Provides a hell of an athlete out there. That one I get, but safety, especially coming off Jim Schwartz's press conference,
right,
where he emphasized that we're a safety-heavy team. I would like to have more talent at that position to be able to say that.
Yeah. Agreed. But the Jerome, so Jerome Baker, Jordan
True.
Hicks, Carson Schlesinger, Mohamed Diabate, Devin Bush. I mean, that five I'm okay
Yeah,
with.
and
Look,
Winston Reed, man. Don't sleep on Winston Reed
and
either,
Winston
man.
Reed, who is the dog. Yeah.
I think they're. I mean, like, are they elite? No, but like, if you're going to pick a group to not have to be elite but just be adequate, that's the group. You know, if you can get it done up front, their lives are way easier.
Banda, did you hear Banda's
I didn't hear that one. No, I
talk
did
a
not.
lot about Chris Edmonds, which
Man, I've been in some of those clips. Edmonds ain't been looking too swift.
I mean, he has flashed in the past, I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. No,
Fumble,
last preseason, he was one of those preseason guys. You definitely
yeah.
flashed.
If Hicks can stay healthy is a huge
Yep.
thing, right? Because you'd like to be able to ease Schlesinger into that role. Like, I'd like to be able to play him at the will mostly this year, right?
Yeah, because you have Hicks.
Because you have Hicks. All right. So the reps thing at quarterback. Listen, I'm going to throw this up. Now, I'm not doing this to sensationalize anything. The D-line, absolutely, Pat Shea will help the linebackers a ton. This D-line is legitimately really good, I think. So, yes, Steven, you nailed it. I don't know about kicker just because kicker is so fickle. I can't.
Well, they cut the only other one they had.
Yeah, I can't evaluate kickers. He was good one year. He was bad the next. That's just how they roll. Rodney, of course. Can we get an update on Shedeur starting now? Nobody is starting. There still is no depth chart, Rodney, is what I would say.
September 7th.
Yeah.
And we're so many miles from there.
But I did take the time, because I knew you guys all would like this so much, to compile Fred Greetham's tremendous camera work.
Best in the biz.
Best in the biz.
The legend.
For the plays of day 2. And I saw NFL players who know people in the Browns locker room saying Shedeur is the best.
Can I get some names with that?
No. So I don't know. NFL players said it. It was Kimberly A. Martin. I'm not aware of any NFL players saying it.
That's what I'm saying.
Kimberly A. Martin.
Names, give them to me. I'll look it up.
And nobody said Shedeur is the best. They said Shedeur has a path to starting, was her exact quote, according to people in the Browns locker room. So, and I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I hope Shedeur is tremendous. I hope he tears the league up. So don't get upset. I'm just saying let's calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
it's 100 days before we kick off.
Yeah, like we're not gonna,
for the love of God, let something play out. Just let it play out.
Let's wait and see what happens here. Like he's gonna, I mean, just like anybody else out there, he has a lot to prove, as does Shorty.
Shorty
Gabriel.
Yep.
Too short Gabriel. All right. Here we go. But, hold on. Stop. Okay, this is one Shedeur, right? Mate, it's a good ball.
Yeah, it's a good ball placement, man. That's where it had to be.
Dude, I will say this. The thing in only seeing clips, right? We don't have a ton to evaluate.
Yeah, we don't know if
It's just clips. But like this is his pick, which was still a good throw.
I mean, look, there's an open guy in the middle of the field, but like as far as that ball placement, the receiver's got to come up with that.
Yeah,
you got to come up.
That was everybody. So a lot of people made a big deal out of this interception, but like, dude, this ball is perfectly thrown.
Catch it.
Catch it or
go to the middle of the field to 82. Yeah, but like as far as just that ball placement, that's a catch. You got to catch that.
It's just a hell of a play by the corner. Anusium, by the way. And for the ball to bounce that far, my God.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's good ball placement too.
That was a nice snag by 89 there.
Yeah.
He had to go down and go.
Rodney, what is Tony Grossi's deal? Tony
When you
Grossi,
find out, let me know.
yeah, if you can find out what his deal is, I'm
let
all
me know.
ears.
Please.
This is his deal.
Idiots! Savages, idiots! Idiots!
Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. Man, down.
That's what I think of, taking stats at OTAs. Right?
Yeah, I posted. I was like, "Does anybody know when the PFF grades dropped today for the OTA?"
Yeah, I saw that.
Anybody?
That was clever.
Jesus Christ, dude.
No one did, by the way.
Down.
Is it playing?
Jesus
No.
Christ, dude. Man, down.
No, just Dennis Reynolds freaking out.
Down.
Of course, doesn't want to cooperate now. But yeah, savages, idiots. What are we talking about here?
Jesus Christ, dude. Man, down.
Idiots! Savages, idiots! Idiots!
Jesus Christ, dude. Man, down.
Idiots!
Sorry, having too much fun. All right. Grossi is I don't know. Everybody wants to jump to a conclusion 5 practices into the off season.
You've only got to see 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of time left. We've seen 2 of them. I thought Shedeur looked great. I thought he looked great. So
yeah, the clips we're seeing, and I stress this: his ball placement, like
they are, and Pat Shea nailed this right. They seem to be hiding him on media days. So when the media has been there, he has gotten no reps with number ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think
does anybody out there really actually believe that he hasn't had reps with the ones?
Not me. I guarantee.
You know what I mean? But I get it, because if you're just going on what you're seeing and those 2 practices, okay, but there's been 3 practices you haven't seen. I guarantee you, he's gotten reps with the ones.
It's kind of smart too, because if he is playing with the ones, can you imagine you wouldn't even be able to contain Mary Kay and Grossi.
Oh my God, no!
They'd be like scissoring in front of the forum of the podium at the press stuff. Availability.
Everybody out there, you're welcome for that visual that Brad just gave you.
I'm sorry. All right,
cut it out. He's late on that ball, by the way.
Who?
It's Flacco. Everyone's like, look at this dot. Like, receiver had to stop and turn around.
Everybody's going, great. I've pictured that now.
Oh, yeah,
holy shit, I'm gagging. I did do it. I'm sorry, I went too far. Well, now I'm not hungry since search. All right, Flacco, hold on. I want to just look. This is a good ball. It's late. You're right.
It's late.
But
should have been touchdown. I'm not gonna be mad at a 30-yard chunk play, but it should have been it should be 6.
It's a sack, though. Tell me this: is this Okoronkwo coming off the edge here on this side? To me, this is a sack. Well, this is the wrong play. That's the problem. That's not a sack. This next one. Tell me this dude doesn't get smoked off the edge right here. 53? Julian Aquara. Right?
I didn't know that's who 53 is.
Yeah, but doesn't that look like a sack to you?
Yeah, probably would have been. I mean, it looked like they ran a stunt because the tackle collapsed into the guard there.
He smokes this dude off the edge. Good bend, too. Got back in there. That's a good play. I like to see that from Aquara. Good ball, though, anyways. It was late. You're right, though. So here's Shedeur. This is 7-on-7 or some iteration of it. Good ball.
Bang. Bang. Love to see that.
He honestly, from the clips I've seen, and he's not like he really doesn't miss accuracy wise.
He's very accurate. And in the short to intermediate, which is what you're seeing here, man, he can pinpoint it.
Yeah. He made the play of the day. That throw to the back of the end zone was a dot.
Yeah.
It's coming up. But
like how Pete, it's not a touchdown. Dude's foot was out of bounds. Perfect throw.
Yes, Rodney. He does have. I don't know if he has blatant hate for him, but there's Fannin. Hold on. That was Fannin, right? Have you noticed this? Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed a lot of 2-back sets?
So far, yeah. I don't know if I'd go so far to say a lot, but I think there's going to be an emphasis,
Okay.
I think you're going to see heavier personnel in general. I think that's going to be an emphasis because they're not dynamic a wide receiver. They don't have they're not going to spread you out with 4 wide this year. 2 back, 2 tight end. You're going to see a decent amount of that this year.
Rodney, I don't think he hates him. I just think he's somewhat. He saw the Philadelphia. So they went. This is Garrett. What happened, right? So they went to Philadelphia for joint practices years ago, and there's a guy in Philadelphia media who takes the stats of quarterbacks at OTAs in practice,
mm-hmm.
and he gets a bunch of clicks for it, and it drives all kinds of content. So now Grossi is doing that with this. Started it at the end of last year. Watson, and it's led into this competition this year. It's silly. It means nothing. I don't think he's personally hating, but it certainly comes across like he has. I don't know. Do you think the Browns are purposely having Shedeur do 11-11 off camera from the media? Potentially.
It could be. That's possible. It could just be the rotation that they're doing this in.
I think that because they're they've been Jeff that he never reported Joe Flacco's interception. That's the thing though, Rodney. That stuff does not matter. The coaches are evaluating this, not us. We aren't evaluating this.
No.
So reporting an interception, even for example, we just saw Shedeur's interception. It wasn't a bad throw at all. It was just a hell of a play by the defender and a less of a play by the wide receiver and a freak bounce. That. It doesn't matter.
He's not going to get a negative check for that throw.
Yeah, reported OTA interceptions don't matter. We even went over this last week. They're not even looking at that stuff, right? They're looking at how do they get through their reads, their progressions. They're charting everything. Who's it against? This.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to evaluate it the way they want to evaluate it. How the masses and fans evaluate it is crazy. But yes, he does come across as a bit of a hater sometimes, but he does that with everybody.
Well, I was about to say I didn't think about this in this way, because for you Shedeur fans that have just now got to the party here, we went through this with Baker with all the Oklahoma fans as well. We probably should have done a PSA when you guys all got here. Don't pay attention to Tony Grossi. That's the last thing you should be doing. I get it. They put a mic in front of his face and he has a platform. But I'm telling you right now, if you talk to any hardcore Browns fans, they're not living and dying. Sorry, MC, on Tony Grossi or Mary Kay Cabot. They're just not.
Did you hear the question? Did you listen to the Tommy Rees presser?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the last question?
Yeah. What's he gonna say?
I think she misphrased it, but she said, "Do you think any of the 4 quarterbacks have a chance to start week 1?"
Do you think that every one of these 4 quarterbacks?
That's what she meant to say.
Yeah.
But he audibly laughed out loud.
Yeah.
And then he goes, And as they were cutting away, you would just hear him go, "Boy, that'd be a sad answer if I said no, right?"
You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah. You're crazy. All right. They said Dylan struggled with the ones. I didn't hear that. He got some work with the ones, but I'm not necessarily. I just have a trouble taking Dylan seriously as an option. But there's Fannin looking good, right?
yeah, he's flashed several times in these clips.
I have a hard time taking this guy, Kenny Pickett, or Gabriel as a legitimate option. There's a seed.
Can you replay that one for me?
This is the one right here. Yeah. Is this the I'm sorry. I'm all over the place I'm not very good with this. All right, there's Fannin. All right, here's Pickett. I think this is an incompletion.
Looks like he caught it on a high point, didn't he? Did he not come down on the ground with it?
I think it landed on the ground. It's bouncing around down there, I think. Maybe he caught it. I don't know.
Gotta catch that.
Look at this ball, though. Whoop!
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was the throw of the day, right? This is the one, right?
It was the most impressive throw I saw out of those clips.
I have it from a different angle, too, later. I think.
Then you see it from them.
But Shedeur, look at that.
Bang.
I mean, you can't put it in there any better.
That was nice.
Beautiful.
That was nice.
Good ball.
Judy's looked
Kenny,
good so far, hadn't he?
Judy looks excellent.
Judy's looked excellent so far.
This is stuff I grabbed from Cam Justice, where she just kind of.
She also does a very good job documenting stuff.
Yeah, she does. She focused on Gabriel for a few minutes and put it together, and then she did the same thing with Shedeur. So this is just them going through passing drills before. But yeah, I mean, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if it's strategic that they are just keeping him away from the limelight when most of the
The good news for people out there, though, they're not going to be able to do that for very long. If that's your biggest concern right now. They might be able to do it for another week, and then they're going to reconvene. And when they come back at the end of July,
Sunfire Brown says, take Shedeur Sanders out of the picture. Ain't nobody checking for those other QBs. Well, you aren't, but we are. We're still watching the same exact way because we're Browns fans. So, I mean, no, the national media isn't paying attention like they are. Of course not.
It's your boy Pierre Strong.
With all due respect, and I do love you guys, if Shedeur do it, would it throw a bad interception? Would have said trade him? I can't understand that.
No, and he's not. No one's going to say trade him.
Nobody's saying trade him.
No one's saying that. I don't know. Grossy's not saying that. Like, nobody's going to advocate for trading a rookie.
I know you guys don't believe it. They're just here because of no, but like here's the thing, Go Bucks. Like, no, I was not. I am on the record of not being excited at all for Pickett. I don't know what Gabriel is. I worry about his height, but we don't know what he is yet. And we don't know what Shedeur is yet. Am I more excited? Do I think he has a higher ceiling than anybody here? Yes, but I'm still like, whether you guys are here, if you're just here for Shedeur, and this is no offense to you either, Whether you guys are here or not, we're still doing the same coverage. And the majority of this chat is still all here watching it with us. So
Yep.
I'm not going to
Every
treat it
Thursday
any
night, baby.
differently just because you guys are here. It's June 5th. Let's not overreact to what we're seeing. If he earns the job, he'll earn the job. Rodney, you can express your true everything. How would I feel if Shedeur was traded? He's
I feel
not
like
getting
it was a terrible
traded.
move.
It would be a stupid thing to do.
It'd be terrible. Like you.
It would be idiotic. Like they got incredible value. Here's her little, Cam Justice once again doing a great job on this work here with Shedeur. Let's
see
be
that ball
reasonable.
higher in the carriage.
They are not trading him. We don't want to trade him. He has tremendous upside for us. We all want him to work out and be the dude.
Can you imagine if the search was over? Oh my God.
Yeah. Like we don't want I don't want Kenny Pickett to be my quarterback week 1. I don't want a 40-year-old to be my quarterback week 1. I want to win football games. And if that's Shedeur Sanders to do it, then I'm all for it. And I'm 100% behind it. No, it would be absurd to trade him away at this point.
It'd be organizational malpractice.
It would be.
I didn't even see what just happened there. Did he just lose his footing? That was a nice needle right there.
It was.
I've seen a few flashes from Thrash as well. Some of these clips.
Have you? That's the one.
Yeah, not
right
the one
there.
you're showing right now, but over the last couple of days. In traffic.
I haven't seen him catch anything. Am I missing
Really?
it?
You must have. Yeah, I don't know who posted it.
There's Miles Harden out there, guarding Thrash. Like to see him take a step forward.
Yeah,
But that's when he fell down.
that's a big play in this offense right there. That naked boot on the backside.
Yeah. You got to be able to flip your hips and throw that. It's a good ball. This is the ball. This is the best play of the day right here, though. I think. That I saw.
Back foot, man.
That's just such a beautiful throw. Guys, come on. If he can do that, he'll win the freaking job on a regular basis, right?
Mhm.
Like, and there's no question that he looks good. From what I've seen, he looks good. He looks comfortable. He's not, by all accounts, he's not rushing the process at all.
No, he looks comfortable. His footwork and his eyes look like they're matching.
There it is again. I was talking if you missed it last night, but with I got to fill in for OBR Weekly last night.
Did you? No, I didn't get to see it.
So I got to talk with Fred Greetham, who was at practice in the interview, and he says that all the guys do this, but you worry about, like, when you hear the rumors and the murmurs about Shedeur and the reason that people say he dropped, right? Like the headphones on and the Dion stuff and the bad advice and telling teams not to, whatever, not taking well to criticism. But since he's been here, he's been a model citizen, attitude A+, great teammate, no me, none of that. He's been great. He plays the game a lot better than his dad does. I'll say that. And he has been tremendous. And to my point about last night, Fred said, when he's not taking reps, he's behind the play, taking.
That's exactly what you need, man.
Phantom reps.
1,000% immersed into this entire experience.
Into the process. And that's how you're going to do it. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. He has been pitch perfect and comes across as very likable. Very likable. So,
That's what
I
I just
think
hope is that, you know what I mean? You can have preconceived notions on any player, but what matters is
any
what they do in front of you. What have you seen? What have you seen any of? Like, I haven't seen any of that nonsense. I've seen nothing but work, and I've seen them be pretty damn good on the field so far, man. Like, I just hope that keeps progressing as we get to see this move along.
Yeah. Yeah, no, A plus attitude since he's been here. You know, you see in like the clips, but like his teammates, like they did the cooking challenge over the weekend and stuff.
Mhm.
But like his teammates, and at least the rookie level, are gravitate towards them.
Yes.
They're around him all the time.
Well, you could see that when they did their team picture. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, go Bucks. None of that stuff matters anymore. Doesn't really matter anymore. We're all. He's on a team now, so. Yeah, it does feel like that. Not you guys necessarily that are in here, but there's this weird disconnect when people come and look at the Browns and they're like, oh, and I think it's like maybe like a little bit of scar tissue from the draft fall. Like,
Yeah. But if anything, we're the team that liked him. Like,
yeah, right. We're the team that took him.
like, how are we going to get that label?
But like, yeah, I did bring it up. Yeah, you're right. But I was bringing it up to make the point that his attitude has been A
Yeah,
plus.
it's been awesome.
Not to look back on it. He's been great since he's been here. That was my point.
Mhm.
But if you're a fan of Shedeur and you come here, like, we don't hate him. We're happy to have him, and we want him to succeed because we want to win football games.
Yeah.
Period.
I want to evaluate good football.
And we've been looking for a quarterback for a long time here. And if he's the answer, then hall of freaking Louie, man. But like, there's a lot of I'm not saying you guys do this, but there's a lot that come in here and say, like, why are you guys like we are gonna hate him to world's fastest point. We don't hate Shedeur. Some people might. Not I don't at all. I'm hoping he's the answer. Why can't we know that Shedeur
It's June 5th.
is ready now? The eye test doesn't mean anything anymore.
It's June 5th.
Too early, Rodney.
June 5th, man. September 7th is the first game.
They've practiced together as a team, and not even the whole team is there yet. 5 optional organized team activities on the field.
Yeah.
You can't decide anything in that amount.
The goal of OTAs wasn't to figure this out. It's get reps,
goal of
implement this system. You know, like someone like Flacco does have a head start because he did this in 23. These other guys, this is their first time playing in this system. So let's let it marinate, man. Let's let these guys grow.
All right. That's a fair question. Do I still hate Kenny Pickett?
I mean, we had shirts made, for God's sakes.
I've hated Pat. You know, he played for the Steelers. I hated his guts. I don't know. World's fastest is a good point. If you love that young man, you should want him to have the best prep possible, and that means take reps and grow. Do not ruin him. I dislike. Listen, I don't really dislike Kenny Pickett as a person. I have nothing against him in that way.
It's the idea of him being your quarterback.
It's the idea of him being our quarterback that makes me a little nauseous, because he was the Steelers quarterback, and then we really hated him and made fun of his hands being puny, and then now he's on my team, and I hate that. We had shirts made of him.
I hate that we gave him a fifth-round pick to get him. Like,
not
even like he's nowhere to hate.
Yes, Pat Shea is going to be a long summer. So yeah, no, you cannot say by the eye test that that he's the best option. You can think that he will be the best option.
I think he looks damn good.
And I think he looks great. But
He's spinning it, making the correct reads.
Yeah.
Doesn't look panicked, doesn't look rushed. It looks like he's taken to the process, man. Just let it keep going.
And as I said, his attitude has been A++, and I love that. And so by all accounts, he's doing all the work. But as far as work on the field, we have a very tiny snapshot of what is actually. Remember, they've been in the building for phase 1 and 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's an all-encompassing evaluation. And there is a guy that has played like 20 years in the NFL in the room.
Yes, sure is.
So, well, that's your opinion, Roddy, and I respect your opinion that he was the best quarterback in the draft, but not everyone shares that opinion, clearly. So, but yeah, let's move on to some other news here that we got today. Casey, you're watching All Eyes on Cleveland. If you're here, appreciate you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and the notification bell so you know every time we go live. Yeah, it helps us out. It takes a second. It's free.
Just do all the things. Do them.
Do the things.
It's real quick. Painless. Won't hurt you at all.
Is it? All right, let's do this. This is Dawand Jones on being playing left tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kept it as real. I kept it as real as possible with AB. I personally don't like playing left tackle like that, but I don't care. I'm athletic. It comes with the nature of the game. Can you decipher this for me?
He's out of his comfort zone. That's all he's saying. You know, I mean, he's played football for a while now, and he's primarily been a right tackle. He dabbled a little left tackle at Ohio State. Been a right tackle, but like, you know, at the end of the day, we still have Jack Conklin. You know, this is a tough titty situation, big man. You know what I mean? And he'll play left. We saw him do it last year. He'll suck it up and do the thing. He's just saying he's more comfortable on the other side.
Yeah, I know. I was just making fun of the quote. It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it is all over the place. But it's just, you know, it's. Now, would you.
Hold on. I got it. I'm sorry. I got to tell you guys in the chat to knock it off. Why do I have to respect the Browns' process? They won 3 games last year. You're out of line for saying that. A, because any NFL team, they drafted him. Be glad they drafted him. Be glad he's here and he has a chance to go start. So, no, you don't have to respect it. Nobody's going to make you respect it. But I don't appreciate that. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We're just getting done telling you how much we are rooting for him to be great. We are respecting your slow process of recognizing a good player when you see one. They are the only team that drafted him, Sunfire, in the 5th round. What slow process of recognizing him? This is the process of the NFL. It's organized team activities. 5 days in. They are not going to call him the starter after 5 days of OTAs. That's madness. You wouldn't do that with any rookie quarterback. You wouldn't do that with
Joe Flacco, who's won a Super Bowl
draft pick.
Like Joe's won a damn Super Bowl and taken this team to the playoffs, and they're not even doing it with him. So they should be.
If you're going to be in here and if you're going to talk about this, do it in a respectful manner, please. Okay. That's all I'm asking. You can come in here and love Shedeur all you want, but do it in a respectful manner. That is insane, Chantel. No. I want to keep this the way it is, right? Like, you guys, we've been nothing on this show and this channel, nothing but accommodating to all of you guys, right? You guys love Shedeur, and just because someone doesn't want to call him a starter, to your point, right now, you're doing it right now, Rodney. Just because somebody doesn't want to call him a starter after 5 days of OTAs, which is asinine on its face, okay, doesn't mean they hate him. That's the problem that we have. You guys are coming in here saying that he should be named the starter after 5 days of OTAs. It's June, early June. It's not. It's June 7th, and you want them to be naming him the starter. And then if somebody doesn't agree with you, you say you just hate Shedeur.
Yeah, you're calling it hate.
Come on now. Nobody hates Shedeur. We all want him to be great. Once again, for the 500th time, Rodney, we all want him to be great because that means the Browns will be great. But he is not above the process of any other quarterback.
No.
And although
I criticize players that I love,
especially a guy, and I hate to bring it up, that was taken in the 5th round of the draft. You guys can call it what you want, but that's where he was drafted. Teams passed on him 4 times, every team in the NFL. Okay? He's here. I know he's better than a 5th round pick, so I'm not going to get in that argument with you. I know he's better than that. We all know he's better than that. We're not dumb. We understand what happened. But you can't come in here and be crazy about this and start calling people haters because they don't want to name him the starter after 3 freaking days. Nobody. Oh my God. Hate is such a strong, but there's a strong dislike for him starting. What are you going to do if they do that? And the question that needs to be answered is not good. What are you talking?
what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? How many times do I have to say we want him to be great? We want him to be good. We are Browns fans. Nobody here dislikes him at all. I just got done gushing over how good he's been so far. How much credit can I give him? I've said he's been A+ attitude. He looks great out there. He looks better than the other rookie on the team. He looks better than Pickett from the small sample size that I've seen. And we've seen a very small glimpse into what's actually going on. Yep. I've been nothing but giving him credit the entire time.
Just let it play out, guys. Let it play out.
Let him win his job.
If he is who you think he is, then it'll be his job. And then we'll have to have these conversations. But let it play out. Then he'll win
the job, and we'll all be happy. But Sunfire, what are you talking about? There's no dislike here. We have shown no dislike at all. There's no dislike at all. I would love for him to win the job and be incredible. But I want him to be good. So I don't want them to rush him into it. I want him to understand it all. This is the same for every rookie quarterback that's ever played in the NFL. If you're going to come in here, that's fine. But nobody hates him here. You guys all need to get that idea out of your head. Nobody hates him. Nobody's trying to keep him down. Nobody's trying to do him a disservice. We all want him to be good. Nobody's going to name him the starter after 5 days of OTAs. Back to Dawand Jones. I get he doesn't want to play on the left side.
Yeah.
So
you're taking one for the team, buddy. You're doing this.
I mean, you got to do it, bud.
Yeah,
right?
You're not.
You got to get. And you got to get better at.
You know who hates this quote? His agent. His agent. Left
Yeah.
tackles get paid, big man. He's 100% athletic enough to be an outstanding left tackle as long as he can stay on the field.
Yeah. I mean, kept it as real as possible with AB. First of all, what is that? I don't know, man. Listen,
I get it, man. Look, if you're an NFL player and you're talking to the general manager's like, hey, how do you like playing over on the left side? And I'd say most of them who were getting starting reps would be like, oh, I love it. Can't wait to go out there and prove myself. But actually, I'm not that fond of it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's crazy.
you're not. You think he should be on the left side, though, right? Case you were against this
Given
at
what
first.
we
Have you
have,
come around on this
100%,
idea?
dude.
Yeah.
Given what we have, 100%. If we had another starting left caliber tackle, and look, man, he's played right. I've seen him play it right. But you and Pete have always made a good point: is he's a below average run blocker, which is more important on the right side than it is the left. Unless you have a left-handed quarterback, they change the equation just a little. But it's. I mean, he's 6'8" and 370 pounds and can move. Those guys don't grow on trees, man. And if you can, we saw obviously once again small sample size, but he's an elite. He can be an elite pass blocker. His run blocking leaves a lot to be desired. But
good
if you give me one trait to have out of my left tackle, it'd be that.
He is working hard, and his actions speak loudly. Pache, I agree. Him losing that weight is that's such a huge thing, right?
Yeah, it had to happen.
It had to happen to stay healthy.
Yeah. If he was going to have an NFL career, he wasn't going to be able to do it at 410 pounds.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, he's going to make more his agent. You're right. I mean, you're going to make twice the amount of money on the left side than you are the right.
Yeah, big fella. Suck it up for the next 10 years and you'll be money. You don't have to worry about anything the rest of your life.
Yeah. All right. This is so bothersome. Here we go. Big news. I don't know why I'm making my own sound effects here. My sound effects have failed me, Casey.
Oh no, what happened? You had something queued up?
Nothing will play.
Idiots! Savages, idiots!
Jesus Christ. Damn, man. Down.
Calm down.
All right. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Jesus Christ.
A-Rod has told the Steelers that he plans to sign a one-year deal before next week's minicamp per Rap Sheet and Tom Pelissero. Casey Kinnamon, thoughts?
This guy. Well, they upgraded over Mason Rudolph, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. That wasn't difficult to do.
You know what I'm saying? Well, here's my thing with. I think he still has plenty of talent. I think he's still got talent, and it's not what it was. I'm not going to try to believe this is 3-4 years ago, but he's a talented player, and he can make throws. I just don't know what this looks like in Arthur Smith's system. Like it to me, that's not a fit. But it's the only place he had left to go on the carousel. And I mean, you knew they weren't going to go into the season with Mason Rudolph, despite what Mike Tomlin was trying to peddle, a month ago. And it seemed like it was inevitable, but God damn it, he makes everything about him. Like he can't. This guy's incapable of not being an asshole. They got better. They got better with it. I don't see it being a schematic fit at all.
Broken Arrow says keeps the Steelers at 500. I called this the year for the fall off.
You did.
And, the thing about Rodgers is if it starts to go bad, it could go really bad.
Yeah, I know. That's the reason I'm still pissed that they got rid of Pickens. That would have been, God, those tantrums, like the whole thing would have been just so beautiful. I wish they'd have kept that dude on the field for this.
Yeah. So that makes things interesting, though. I was starting to wonder where he was, when we were going to hear from him.
Yeah. Well, he waited until after there was a massive blow up on Twitter today before they announced it.
Yeah. I don't know if he solves a ton for them, but
look, it's not what Arthur Smith does, what he does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, I don't know.
How old is Aaron?
I'm going to guess 38. That's my guess.
He's not 40 yet, is he?
That's my guess.
I think,
37 maybe.
The end of his, dark room, magic mushrooms, nonsense. Yeah, Connie. But
is there a conspiracy theory this dude doesn't believe in?
Do you know anything about a darkness retreat case?
I mean, other than what he explained previously, no.
What is No, he didn't make the Jets any better, although he did play well.
He was playing well the second half of the season last year. He did. He's got talent, man. But and if you're not asking him to do too much that's outside of his box, he can still perform. Fair enough, Serge.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't. What does that accomplish for you? So you go in you go inside a.
I might look. This is just me. I picture like a Hobbit home from Lord of the Rings. That's in the side of a hill, and he just goes in, and there's no electricity, and there's a bed, and you just unplug from electricity and your phone and let your circadian rhythm kick back in, and you become in tune with yourself. I'm sure it's something like that.
So I looked up darkness retreat, benefits or why people do them.
Does it say to be a douchebag?
Most people don't go into darkness retreats to catch up on sleep. No shit. Really? But relieving sleep deficits in a healthy byproduct of spending time in darkness. I always spend the first few days catching up on lost sleep and allowing myself to luxuriate in bed for the duration of the retreat. It's not like I have to leap out of bed and do something. Sleeping is a delicious indulgence that allows you to explore limitless states of the mind as you drift in and out of sleep for inordinate periods of time. Sounds like every night for me.
Basically, just live like it's Little House on the Prairie, man. Which I'll say this, as a society, we are too addicted to our phones and instant gratification from all kinds of amenities. So probably do some people. I like to camp. I like to go out in the woods and I camp. So that's my version of this.
Actually, it's a mind reset, says Jeff. Great point, Stephen. Week 6, the quarterbacks could be 78 years old combined. Let's hope Shedeur's starting by then, so that's not the case.
Well, it is the game after we return from London. So,
God, they screwed us with the travel, man.
I know, but part of it's totally our fault too, because we could have taken the bye afterwards.
I know,
could have done it.
But I didn't even realize it was going to work out that way, that Pittsburgh was going to be there, right? So Pittsburgh's there
No,
in Europe.
the Vikings are there.
They play the Vikings a week before. Then we
Oh,
go
yeah,
over.
and then they
so they
took
get-
their bye.
They take the bye. We
Yeah.
don't take the bye.
Yeah.
So we have to come back from Europe to Pittsburgh while they've
Yeah.
been off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, that's awesome, Robert. I hope you enjoy that. That'll be fun. Jack told me, the great Jack Juffin told me he got his tickets locked in.
Nice.
It's not at Wembley. It's at someplace else. Yeah. So, Connie bought her ticket, Vikings Browns. Wow, you guys are all
Fly for
going
free?
over there.
And you get to fly for free. That's the biggest part of that trip.
That's crazy. Tottenham. That's where it is.
Home of the Tottenham Spurs.
Yeah. So, is that right? Is it
Yeah. That's where the Spurs play. Tottenham.
a soccer team?
Yes. Correct.
So, I don't know much about that communist sport, but Jack told me when I had him on for Things I Think I Know that they actually built the football field first, like our American football, and then they slide as Jack called it, the pitch over.
Yeah, it's called the pitch.
Yeah, I know. I don't call it the pitch.
I don't even watch soccer. I'm a rugby fan though.
My dad was a football coach like his whole life, and he always called it a communist sport.
That's hilarious.
That was very funny.
It was the first sport I ever played because I was too young to play football. So they sent my chunky ass out there. And I was no good. My team was real good, but whenever I was there for it.
Tottenham. What am I looking for? Stadium?
I guess. I don't know what you're doing over there.
I wanted to get a look at her. Welcome to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They're the Hotspurs? Where the hell that is. Anyways.
I got nothing for you, bro.
They got no good pictures of this freaking place. Can we take a tour? Please? No. Nope.
I'm looking forward to waking up at like 8 in the morning and pre-gaming. Looking forward to that.
Come on, man. What is this?
Well, Brad's gone now. It's my show. Taking over. I don't know if we're going to talk about any soccer or not. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Give me some questions. Do an AMA while we're waiting on Mr. Ward.
My bad.
Oh, he's back. For a second, I thought I got my own show.
My bad. Are you guys still talking about this stuff? Fumble says it's a beautiful stadium. Love watching Premier League games from there. Very cool. Joe will be 40. A-Rod will be 42. Most rugby players are built like NFL. Soccer is fun on Xbox. That's about it, says McLovin. Rodney, still digging in, says McLovin. I guess Shedeur fans can't express themselves. You want me to relax about my excitement? Where do they do that at?
Darkness retreats. You can go to a darkness retreat and relax.
Darkness retreat can help, but listen.
Reset your mind.
Rodney, you can be as excited about Shedeur as you want in here.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I'm excited about Shedeur. So you can be as excited about him as you want as long as you don't just, attack anybody that has any slight of a different opinion.
Jeff, you can
Or-
watch Danish rugby on CBS Sports.
We're all excited about Shedeur. I'm excited about Shedeur.
Yeah, you should be. If you're a Browns
But-
fan, you should
but
be
it-
excited.
Yeah, you should be. If you're a Browns fan, you should be excited. But it is June 5th, so I'm trying to temper my expectations.
I just know that there's a big journey in front of us.
Miles, yeah. So, what did you think? Last thought here before we go to your segment tonight. But what did you think about the stuff that Schwartzy said about Miles?
Like
coming
as a
on
comic book nerd, that he summons Uncle Ben. The great power comes great responsibility line, and he anticipates
who?
Miles having the best year of his career.
Who is Uncle Ben?
Spider-Man's uncle dies tragically. Jim Schwartz knows who he is, bro. So that's all you
he
need
knows
to know.
that quote. You don't have to know Uncle Ben from Spider-Man to know that quote. Despite him being he's the one that said it first, I take it.
Yes. Well, Stan Lee, the author, made him say because he wrote it. But yes, that's who says it to Peter, and that's the mantra Peter lives by after Uncle Ben's dead, and he becomes Spider-Man.
Trying not to let the show go full comic book.
You could try if you want. I'm not even that big of a Spider-Man fan. It's not. I don't even own a Spider-Man comic. My daughter does. She has several.
Anyways,
Uncle Ben is a rice brand. Facts.
it is. Yeah, factual statement. All right, Case.
All right.
It's that time of the show.
We're going off the rails, people. So
Going
you'll
off
hear
the
this.
rails.
You'll hear this
Buckle up.
discussion brought up. Like if you're on a desert island and you can only take 3 movies with you, what 3 would they be? Well, we're going to do that, but we're going to expound. We're not going to just do 3 movies. I want 3 movies. I want 3 albums. I want 3 meals that you could cook yourself, not like you go to Chick-fil-A and get a sandwich. And then as Browns fans, if you can only watch 3 Browns games that you've seen in your life, what 3 would you rewatch?
All right.
So where do you want to start first? What are you more prepared with?
I can go Browns games probably pretty quickly.
Okay.
So, the Metcalf game.
The 2 touchdowns against. Hold on,
Yep.
he has. I've written this up. So he had 3 touchdowns against the Raiders, or the 2 punt returns.
No, the Steelers game at home.
Mhm.
2
Yep.
punt returns.
Yep, 93.
Throwing the stuff on the field. It was
Mhm.
crazy, insane.
Yeah,
One of my all-time favorites.
that's
I've
good.
interviewed him. Got to tell him that. He says he hears it all the time.
Yeah, I bet he does.
I have a 21 jersey, but it doesn't say award on the back. It says Metcalf. That was my dude. A guy, I will say this about Metcalf, a guy ahead of his time, before his time, would have excelled in today's NFL.
What's insane to me is that Belichick couldn't figure out how to use him, and then later in Belichick's coaching life, he excelled at using those exact type of backs who were
Same kind of
monsters
guy.
at receiving.
He went to Atlanta and basically became a wide receiver.
He's San Diego. He scored touchdowns everywhere he went.
He was
But,
special.
yeah. Very
Special
special.
player.
Yeah, there's a jump
So
cut he
that-
makes in a Monday night game against Cincinnati. In his first game he played, it was amazing. His first game against the Bucks in '89, like dude, he was special.
Browns beat Steelers in empty stadium. Wild card weekend.
Okay, so you got 2 against the Steelers. Nice.
2020. Third one becomes difficult for me. You go. What are a couple of yours?
Well, the first one I would watch, and it's because it was the game that made me a Browns fan. I wasn't born into this. I didn't get pushed in this direction. I was able to go to a game when I was, 9 years old, and it was October 16th, '88. The Browns beat the Eagles 19-3 with Don Strock as the quarterback. Kevin Mack and Webster Slaughter both scored touchdowns in that game. I was hooked from that moment. So for me, just that's where this started for me. This journey started on that day. So that'd be my first one.
A special meaning, yeah.
Yeah, it cemented who the reason I'm here right now. Second game.
Good ones, Kramer.
Oh, I should probably be looking at the chat.
I think the beer locker game has to be up there for me. I think much fonder, I fell in love with the Browns. I'm just old enough to have been a little kid when the when the tragedy of the Broncos in the late 80s and Kosar, Bottlegate is brought up.
I don't think about that.
That's not. But Run William Run, Turkey Jones, Bradshaw on his head. Browns Bills playoff game '89 classic.
Yeah, I'm trying not to go too old in that same time frame, but that was huge for me. That I was in 5th grade and I threw a playoff. Like I'm saying, I'm not even surrounded by Browns fans, but I threw a party for that game, and all my friends were in half a morning watching the game. Like you couldn't have peeled me from that TV, bro.
Kramer makes a great point that despite this past year being terrible, the Snow Globe game is a special game.
I want to say this. A lot of my favorite games came in terrible seasons.
Yeah.
One that pops in my head immediately when we're talking about this is there was a Monday night game in 2008. We're coming off the 2007 season. We were feeling good about everything. And then 2008 goes to shit. But you beat the defending world champs on Monday Night Football against the New York Giants. I love that game. And that was, I think it might have been like the 5th game of the season, if I'm not wrong.
Jacob Roach says the snow game gave him so much runs.
That's a lot of information.
TMI, Jacob. Wow.
A lot of things for me to take in right
in
now.
the middle of this sentimental moment. Oh, fun. Sorry, he meant fun.
Oh, yeah, sure you did, Jacob. That's a good rebound. Okay.
That retraction seems a little late.
October 5th, 2014, the biggest road comeback in NFL history at the time against Tennessee. You came down from 25 points to win the game. 2 Travis Benjamin touchdowns, Hoyer, that's definitely one of my games.
Love it. The Jets game, all-time favorite, had it on cassette tape. Yeah, good stuff, guys. All right, what's the next topic?
Let's go and get the food out of the way.
All right, I can make French toast that I like.
French toast is a banger.
French toast, cinnamon, the syrup. I can eat it. Dinner, lunch, whatever. It's delicious. I can't really cook much else, Case.
Well, then you give me 2 meals that your wife makes. I don't want to hear nothing from restaurants.
Lasagna. Makes killer lasagna. She makes good tacos, but I feel like that would get really old. I have to pick this for the rest of my life,
every day,
right?
You're out your damn mind.
Yeah, no. So I like the Kramer, stop it with the spam sardines and mayo.
Waffles with cherries and whipped cream, never.
Oh, pulled pork is all I'm eating forever, says Jeff. Beef soup is number one.
My wife would be right there with you, Connie.
All right, so I'll go with the, obviously, what did I say?
You said lasagna and French toast so far.
Oh, the French toast, 1A.
Okay.
Lasagna, 1B. And then can I just do like chicken and rice? I mean, I want to survive here, right? Like, or does this have to be...
You can if that's what you want. I'm not eating that the rest of my life.
What are you going to eat the rest of your life?
I'll start with breakfast. I'll start with breakfast, and these are all meals that I'm cooking. Bacon and eggs, dude. Bacon and eggs is undefeated. It's easy. Yeah. And you said it earlier, dude. Breakfast for dinner is one of my favorite things on the planet. Like I can eat that any time of day. I haven't had a carb since May 1st, and like I can eat bacon and eggs whenever. Like it's chef's kiss. For For my second one, dude, one of my favorite things that I make is I do a Korean style fried chicken, but I use General Tso's sauce instead of their sauce. So it's unbelievable, dude. And it's basically you bread it with potato starch and you fry it twice. You fry it once, you can bring it out of the oil, and you press down with a spatula and create these little cracks in the breading, and you double fry it. It's crispy. It's unbelievable. I serve it with white rice that I fry. The secret to frying rice is you got to cook the rice the day before and let it cool. If you do it off, if you try to fry rice off freshly cooked rice, it's not the same. And I do broccoli with that. But the OG, the best, the easiest, steak and asparagus, man. Steak and asparagus. And it could be grill. I can do it in the pan, whatever, man. Steak and asparagus. And I don't need nothing but salt.
Hold on. Those are great choices. Steak. I don't know about the asparagus, but we've got Korean fried chicken is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jacob is invading the show saying, Brad, want to make a gentleman's bet about quarterbacks. Now, Jacob has approached me about gentlemen's bets about quarterbacks several times, and none of them have challenged me to anything. I've agreed with them on every one. Fire away, buddy. What do you got for me? Jeff W. telling you that veg shit can kick rocks.
I see him.
Case.
I like asparagus. I like broccoli if it's cooked right.
Look at Axeman getting all the bear on us with blackened salmon and mango chutney with a mango chutney.
I've never been big on salmon. I'm not real big on fish in general. I've had some swordfish that I liked. I like the stuff. I like I like all the other stuff though. I like shrimp. I like calamari. I'm a big calamari guy. Usually, if I go a place that's not on the app, I'll probably knock that out.
I think did you see this?
Mm-hmm. I do.
I mean, done. You can have him.
One chip challenge.
Field
versus the field. That is a bold gentleman's bet, though.
What's the one chip challenge?
It's a very, very extremely painful hot chip.
It's a hot chip.
Oh yeah, it comes in and like you're supposed to use gloves when you eat it. Like it's like they might even come with the gloves.
A wildly reckless bet, does it not?
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude. Regardless, whoever loses the bet's got to do this on air, so it's great for content.
Yeah, done. I shake. Virtual shake.
Here's the deal, though. I'll jump in the bet with you, but we both can't eat the chip on the same day because you're gonna have a hard time talking if you lose. So I'll do it if he wins, and Gabriel's the starter week 1. We'll alternate.
You couldn't even say that without laughing.
I would definitely take the field. I don't discredit. Like there is a path for him to start. They obviously saw that when they drafted him. But you're giving me the field. I'm taking the field.
It's madness. It's madness.
MC, I think it's a new chip. I don't think it's the exact same chip it was before.
Yeah. Is this the one that Shaq did and he couldn't do it on TNT?
Yeah. And look at what Kramer just wrote. That last sentence.
Wow.
That last sentence.
Enjoy, Roach. Enjoy pooping charcoal.
That's
hot. It's a hot tamale. No, it's not going down as one of the worst trades. Absolutely not. They don't even know who they need or have. They gave up a first rounder next year.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Joey Stone's going all in. First year as a GM.
It will prove to be and you can't grade these trades until like 3 years from now.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
in my opinion, it will go down as a idiotic trade by that knucklehead over in Jacksonville. I'm sure that's going to anger some people, but anyways. So with copitate,
I don't know what that is.
me neither. Yeah, I have milk candy. I know milk helps. The worst trade in the NFL history has already occurred.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nah, I
Christian.
can't.
And
I
we
can't
already hold
refute. I can't refute any of that.
it. Yeah.
I would have a bowl of ice cream as well on standby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whatever it takes, you know. So, all right, what's next?
3 albums. 3 albums. If you can only listen to 3 albums the rest of your life, what are those 3 albums?
All right.
Chat, feel free to sound off.
This is tough.
Very tough.
I mean, this is really tough.
Very tough. I could give you some time and go ahead and give mine if you
Yeah,
want
go
time
ahead. I got to
have your
think
thoughts.
about it for a second. I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah. My first one is Pink Floyd's 1973 epic, Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
Dark Side of the Moon, I believe, is one of the greatest achievements in musical history. And like I equate it like this: like if aliens were to land on Earth, I would play that record for them because I believe it's like the greatest representation of what it means to be a human, of what human life is like. It's beautiful. It's a no skip album. Second album I'm going to go is going to be off. No, I doubt anyone in the chat even knows what this is, but I'm a hip hop head. And I can name a ton of albums you guys have heard of, but I'm going to go with Prince Paul's Prince Among Thieves. It came out in 1999. Prince Paul's a super producer. He gave us De La Soul. He was in Grave Diggers, Handsome Boy Modeling School. He's done a ton of work. But this is a concept album. It tells a story
I'm familiar.
track by track. It is unreal. Like it's.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, but that's your top 3?
I love Prince Among Thieves, man. I think it's it's an achievement.
I know, but like this is something you got to listen to over and over.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
You're
I already do.
with that. All
Yeah,
right,
no.
I already do with mine.
And it's so diverse track to track. It's if I'm listening to hip hop, I could listen to so many different kinds of hip hop just with that one album and styles, and it's varied. And all people I respect: De La Soul, Big Daddy Kane, Everlast, Chubb Rock. You know what I mean? Cool Keith, Exhibit, Sadat X. Like it's phenomenal. It's an achievement, but it's underground, and I understand that. My last one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power.
Okay.
It might not be safe for me to have that album though. That unlocks something in me, man. That is, I don't know, man. That was a big part of me growing up. A lot of people got hurt because I listened to that before games.
So listen, this is all right. So a lot of these are gonna be they fall into like they were the soundtrack of my youth, sort of, right?
Makes sense.
And so listening to them over and over is just something you do because they, it was a certain age or certain time in your life.
There's a time and a place that it takes you to.
Every
and
time.
I love that music does that.
Me too. Best thing about music, I think. Well, one of the great things about it. So, All Eyes on Cleveland was named Tupac, All Eyes on Me, double album. Easy. Piece of cake.
Okay.
Classic after classic after classic after banger. And Tupac, man, Soulful dude. It's heart. There's a lot of heart in there. You can listen to that over and over. This is gonna be probably looked at poorly somewhat now, but at the time it was the best thing that ever happened. College Dropout, Kanye West.
Okay.
His first album,
Mm-hmm.
before his first 3 were great,
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, he's immensely talented.
Yeah. But like in some since then, but like nothing for me will beat the there was just it's a classic. From start to finish through every time. So yeah, College Dropout. I love the Carter 3. I think the Carter is up there. I thought about that one from Lil Wayne. But
I can't do Wayne.
You can't do Wayne?
I can't. His voice takes me right out of it.
You can't do like the Carter 1? Like
I can't do him. His voice takes me right out of it, dude. It's whatever that frequency is. I just can't do it.
Destroys that. Oh man, so good, so talented. Surprised, but like I have to admit, and it's probably pretty cliche, but you know, Eminem. Probably go like. I don't know which one I would choose though. Is the thing, right? Slim Shady LP.
I mean, that would be mine, but it was weird because I saw him before that. Like I was there was a hip hop event in Cincinnati called Scribble Jam, and I was there, and he was battling, and we never heard of him, and he was insane. It was like a cartoon character came to life, and then fast forward about a year and a half, that album drops. Man, it was insane to me. His cadences, the way he was flipping words.
Yeah, Chronic in the
Chronic was massive for me.
Yeah,
Easy does it. I probably heard that at way too young of an age.
Yeah. Obviously, Bone. I thought about. It would have been. What? East 99, Eternal.
Yeah, that'd have been probably the one if you want to pick one.
That's the one I would have chosen.
McLovin, I think we could have a big conversation. Bringing up Del the Funky.
Nice. Favorite rapper?
Mr. Bob Dobalina. Yeah, I'm very versed.
Double Live, Gonzo, Ted Nugent.
I've seen Nugent in concert twice.
Really?
Yeah, he opened for Kiss in '87 on the Crazy Nights tour, and then in 2001, they call it Lynyrd Skynyrd, even though it's like the surviving members of Lynyrd Skynyrd. But he opened. It was Deep Purple, Nugent, and Skynyrd at Riverbend in Cincinnati. It was a good show.
Yeah, I
watched a dude pee on another dude. Went south.
Ooh, yeah. It's not good. Cypress Hill, Incubus, good stuff, guys. All right.
Pick Cypress Hill would be Black Sunday.
Yeah.
That album crushed my dome in 8th grade.
What's next?
3 movies, baby. 3 movies. You get 3 movies that you. It's the last. It's only 3 movies you're gonna get to see for the rest of your life, but you can.
So difficult. 3 that you have to watch forever. Like.
Yeah. There's the Desert Island theory that you can only take 3. Taking 3.
It's so hard. Do you know yours already?
I know 2 of them. The Big Lebowski.
Oh, great!
I can watch The Big Lebowski. I'll never pass it up. If it's on, I'm watching it. I love it. I've loved it since the first time I saw it, and I've probably realistically I've seen that movie at least 50 times in my life. Like I've seen
that's That's real. That's a really good call. All right. What's your next one?
Snatch. Guy Ritchie, British gangster film.
Yeah.
It's a lesson on character development. There's not a character in that movie that's not compelling. It's like
Brad Pitt,
it's
right?
amazing. And Brad
Is it Brad Pitt?
Pitt plays Mickey,
Yeah.
the pikey boxer. You can't understand a word that he says intentionally because he doesn't speak. It's not. It's perfect, and it's every character is compelling, and it's all these storylines happening that all culminate. And technically, it's a heist film because it starts off with a diamond heist, and then it's the story of what happens to that diamond and all the people trying to get said diamond. It's amazing, man. I love that movie. It's stylistically, and I loved his first movie, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, that Guy Ritchie did. And technically, that was all one script. Lock, Stock, and Snatch came from one single script. But the studio said, no, it's too much. So they cut it in half, and he made Lock, Stock first. And from that notoriety, he made Snatch, which I believe it's phenomenal.
What's your third one?
I don't know. I'm going to have to come up with it. I love movies, man. I love movies.
Me too. I could just name, I mean, what's trying to nail this, but I know I'm gonna regret. Like,
yeah, you're always like that. I love cinema, dude. Could talk about movies for hours.
What am I thinking of that I know I'm forgetting something. What do you don't know your last one? I was gonna say
I'll give you
Pulp
one.
Fiction.
I'll give you one right now.
I think I was
Inglourious
gonna
Bastards. I'm gonna give you my favorite director and my favorite movie that he's made is Inglourious Bastards by Quentin Tarantino.
Okay. I was gonna go Pulp Fiction.
Fair, man. I've probably seen that close to 50 times as well.
Yeah. Oh, can always watch it. Always catch something different. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Go Bucks. Airplane's a solid one, dude. I would dare anyone to find a movie that has more jokes packed into it than Airplane.
Airplane is so great, dude.
It's like a Family Guy before Family Guy.
Oh
Like everything was a joke. Every single piece of it along the way.
It is so great. What's the why can't I think of the name of it right now? What's the movie?
Give me actors. I got it.
Dude. Affleck's in it. It's when they're all young.
Good Will Hunting.
No, before that.
Dead Poet Society.
What? Come on, it's a stoner movie. Dazed and Confused. Thank you.
Is that? Yeah, I guess that. Yeah.
Good call, Jeff. Dazed and Confused. That's up there for me for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the best hangout movies of all time for sure.
Yeah. Dazed and Confused. I could always watch that. See what you guys are putting. Airplane, Shining, Dark Knight, Goodfellas. Goodfellas is up there for sure. Pulp Fiction is what I said. Good call. X-Man, Rush. 211.
MC with one though. He's got 3 on the list. Goodfellas, Deer Hunter. He's got Rocky. Rocky was so massive for me growing up.
Yeah, I can't do Rocky over and over, man.
I did it so many times. I'd say Jaws. Jaws would, man, that's for me. Jaws was a massive.
Jaws was great. You know what I would say? Like, probably one of the movies that I've watched over and over the most in my life that I can always sit down and watch. It's gonna sound, but it's based. You know, I was an '80s baby, so. But Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Might be a perfect movie.
Might be
a perfect movie.
Dude, Axeman, we are in sync, bro. Axeman, like, I didn't even look at the chat. Axeman has named like every movie that I've said, and then I look over and then he said it. Like, or he said it first, and then I looked over and saw it. Good call. Inception is good. Alien is great. I have not watched Mobland yet. Have you?
No, but I did do my homework from last week, and I started watching The Night Of.
I know, which you said was X good.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I did not do my homework, and I admit I failed. I did not watch
The Batman.
Batman, which I will do. He's going with an adult movie for his third one. Didn't think about that. If you're alone on an island, might be a good choice.
Yes, Kramer. I don't know if everybody in the chat knows this. Before I moved to where I lived, I ran a movie theater for about 15 years. So I've seen every movie that came out from 2006 to the pandemic.
Ghostbusters.
God, that was true. As a kid, man, that was huge for me. I think of all those movies, those guys that worked together that time period, I would say Pineapple Express is my favorite comedy that got made.
Super bad.
Mm-hmm.
Knocked
Wedding
Up.
Crashers was another one that was.
Wedding Crashers was in there. That was just like a great run of comedies.
There was. They don't make those kind of hard R rated. You know what I mean? Those are raunchy.
Old school.
I love them.
Old school.
Mm-hmm.
It was like all. Like
Old School kicked it off. That was like the first one of that time period, and.
Well, it was like Knocked Up was the one group of comedians, and then Old School.
Mm-hmm.
But like the same guys from Pineapple Express made Knocked Up and whatever, all those ones. Super Bad. That's like the same group of actors, and then they, you've got the other side with Ferrell and really Vince Vaughn's prime.
Yeah,
is like
Basically, you could boil it down to two directors, though. The Will Ferrell stuff, all that stuff's Adam McKay, and then all the other stuff would have been. Why am I drawing a blank?
Road Trip.
You did Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah. But Vince Vaughn and Favreau, we talk about them all the time, but they were in Rudy, but they were swingers before.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Brandon nailed it. Swingers.
Judd Apatow. You got it, Jacob.
And then, years later for him to come into his prime the way he did. Wedding Crashers probably the best.
Wedding Crashers to me, though, there's 3 acts. The third act I don't like. It's sad and it's sappy.
Yeah.
It goes so hard in the paint for those first 2. Like
that is, and I think Old School is like prime. He's good in serious roles too.
Mm-hmm.
Was he in the third True Detective or the second?
Second. It was him and Colin Farrell.
Did you like that one?
It wasn't. I mean, look, if you're coming off the first season, it's a letdown. It's still good TV.
Yeah,
but it wasn't the first season. I mean, it's
Wolf of Wall Street. Great call, Christian. Great movie. Tremendous movie. You like that? You like Wolf of Wall Street? Forgetting Sarah Marshall's good.
Of course.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is always good. I gotta be in a weird mind state to sit down and watch it all the way through.
That's one way to put it.
Not.
Hey, man, I'm not judging.
I can watch it sober because I've seen it so many times, but like you got to be like, Anyways, great job on this. Did you come up with your third one?
Yeah, I listed Inglourious Bastards as my third.
Yeah, that's right.
But it could have been any of these, man. It could have been Jaws.
Oh, I watched The Righteous Gemstones, Jacob. I know all about Walton. His name is Walton, not Wilton. Walton Goggins.
Uncle Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy.
How can you not know Uncle Baby Billy? Goggins is one of my favorite actors. Got to be, right?
He's up there, man. But
Just
I have
Boyd,
so many. I have my...
Boyd Crowder is got to be one of my favorite characters in any show. And his character arc in that show?
Yeah. Yeah,
amazing.
they killed it. And I've recently
Amazing.
watched Justified beginning to end.
Yeah, I mean, from like,
Dude, he's
He does
hilarious in
such-
Vice Principals. Have you seen that with him and McBride?
yes, absolutely
Dude.
hilarious. But his character arc on that show, and his ability to be the bad guy with honor to a certain point, like,
Mhm.
and like can cross the line, but still like he just plays that role perfectly.
And just the way he delivers dialogue and his monologues in it, the
Oh,
way he's,
so
you know.
good. Goggins in The Shield, absolutely top
Mhm.
tier. The Shield is a tremendous show, highly underrated. I can watch The Shield. I've watched it probably twice all the way through.
Have you? I've seen some episodes, but I haven't watched the whole episode.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's up there.
Yeah, there was a time when I was just watching movies. I didn't even have cable, or I just didn't.
Oh, Shield is some really good Goggins, and the entire cast of The Shield is tremendous. But like, you would love it. It's right up the alley. But okay, since you did do your homework assignment, you've got 5 minutes. What did you think of the first episode of The Night of?
Panic-inducing, like the
Was it
way
really
that
that
it plays out, man.
It's
and
not that
you
panic-inducing.
follow his night, and then when
Yeah.
the girl comes into the picture, from that
Yep.
moment on, because you see the breadcrumbs, you see like, I don't know, like obviously I'm going to watch the end of it and see how this plays out, but like as we sit here right now after one episode, how the hell this kid could ever get out of this, I couldn't tell you, because there couldn't be more evidence of something he didn't do, but there could be more evidence that he did it. Like
I know, but like, but it takes you. I think the first episode was really well done. It takes you on like a magical night,
Mhm.
Out of nowhere. Like it looks like it's turned into shit and turns into like a magical night of, and then like next thing you know, like what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I spent the second half of that episode with my asshole puckered. Just like,
Yeah, man.
oh no, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And
Yeah. Tremendous show. Highly recommend. But I'm anxious to hear more about what you think about the next few episodes, because you're gonna love the characters. The guy from he comes later, but in the season,
Totoro,
Totoro, the lawyer, is tremendous all the way through. But the from The Wire, the guy that just died from The Wire.
Nucky, what's his name?
Yeah.
Can't think of his real name. Yes. He's also in Boardwalk Empire.
What's his name in The Wire? Why can't I think? Why can't I? Why is this?
You can hear him whistling.
I can hear him whistling too.
I don't know. It'll come to me as soon as we're off the air. That's how that works.
Anyways, he plays a tremendous role in it. Yeah, now it's up to me.
Yes, Michael K. Williams. Good job, Rodney.
K. Williams. Thank you. Great job, Rodney. Great job, Rodney. Pad Shea.
Now you got to watch The Batman.
I know. I saw JW. Jeff yelled at me. You yelled at me.
You got 2 weeks to do it, because chat, I will not be here next week. I will be in Florida. So you got 2 weeks to get The Batman in.
Gosh.
And hopefully I can knock out at least 2 or 3 episodes of The Night Of by the time we reconvene.
I'll have to surprise you guys with a special guest next week. All right. Listen.
Tight 2 hours, baby. Look at us.
Hitting the post on this one. You guys are great. Best chat in all the land. Thank you for tuning in. As always, hit like, subscribe. Thanks for full victory from the jaws of nonsense. And yeah, I'm gonna go watch the finals too right now. That's why I gotta get out of here. Might have a few wagers placed. So let's go, baby. All right. Legal betting state here in Ohio. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you guys for hanging out. Love you too, Brandon, and everybody else in the chat. You guys rock. Casey, any parting words?
No, man. We have another week of what we have. Let everything play out, and I'm gonna go get some sun, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you get a tan, have fun, vacation, do it up. You deserve it, brother. You deserve
Appreciate
the
that.
relaxing time. So you have a hell of a vacation. All right.
Will do.
We'll catch you on the other side. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep it locked at theobr.com for everything Browns. Wall-to-wall coverage as we head towards mandatory minicamp next week. Later. Have a wonderful night. For Casey Kinnamon, my name is Brad Ward. We are out.